Hi, everyone. I'm your host, Emma Burgich.
And I'm your co-host, Jose Camacho.
Whether you're a player or a coach,
or you're just passionate about what you do and you want to be the best at it,
this is the amazing podcast for you. Today's episode is sponsored by MatchSet. MatchSet is an amazing company that provides players with incredible equipment and apparel. With MatchSet, equipment does matter, and they make sure it won't slow you down.
Use code tenniswithema to get 10% of Match Tennis today.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Amazing Tennis Podcast. Today with us, we have Jordan Katipa. He's one of my really good friends here in Wellington, and he is one of the founders of Workout for Tennis, and he's been a tennis coach and a personal trainer for the last 13 years.
Yeah.
That's what it says on the website, so I don't know if I was right. He's from New Zealand, so he's coached, and he's been in New Zealand, and now he's based in the US. We work together in tennis and with the videos. We've done a lot together, and we're connected here because we live close by. And I'm excited for this episode today because I feel like we just have a lot to talk about. So thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us a little bit about you. How did you start in the tennis industry? How did you play before, or what's your story?
Yeah, so I started playing. My dad played tennis, and I played for, from 7 to about 15, just at a club level, nothing serious, maybe 3 times a week. Once I turned 15, I went to an academy where I saw what tennis was really like. Did that for 1 year. Unfortunately, got burnt out, and then went back to my hometown in New Zealand and decided I wanted to learn about the fitness side. And that was because I was coaching tennis, and I thought, what's going to give me an edge? So I thought if I added that to my belt, I'd have something different.
Mm-hmm. And how is tennis in New Zealand? Is it pretty popular there, or?
I don't know if you know, right now there's like a girl in the quarterfinals.
No, I don't.
But apparently she did not live in New Zealand, but she's playing for New Zealand. So I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But
what's her name?
Last name's Sun.
Oh, that one. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the New Zealand flag is next to her name, whether her parents are from New Zealand. Cameron Norrie played his junior career in New Zealand. Is it popular? I would say no.
No.
But yeah. It was a big junior program when I was younger, but it's definitely going backwards now.
Yeah.
I think the sport in general,
And then how did you end up in the US?
Well, so my wife's from Wellington, so that's how we ended up here.
Yeah. And then you have 2 kids, like
2 kids, yep.
2 little ones. So wait, Kobe's 5?
He's 5 and Tatum's 1.
And then do you have him in tennis already or no?
He did his first tennis camp today, but not with me.
Yeah.
I sent him to Wellington Tennis Center.
Okay.
I think he loved it.
Really?
So, yeah. And I think that's the big thing for me, is hoping that he just loves the sport first.
Yeah.
Before I push it.
But you don't ever go on the court with him?
If he asks me, yes. But otherwise, I don't. And he does. Sometimes he's like, hey, do you want to go play tennis? And I'm like, yep.
Okay.
But if I push, I had that with my father.
Okay, I see.
And it can go sideways pretty fast. So
yeah. So you're really keeping your distance and like watching. But you could ask him, hey, you want to go play?
Yeah, the answer is always no.
Oh, okay.
So it's can we go ride the bike? Can we go swimming? It's everything but tennis.
Oh, really?
So I just,
You see, like lately, my boys want to go.
I know. I see your videos. I'm like jealous. I'm like, that's awesome.
I literally because so last week I was injured and I couldn't really play a lot. So I'm like, I still want to go on the court and like either bring a ball machine or do some serves without the movement, just like. But like I had them with me, so I'm like, okay, do you guys want to go? Sometimes the answer is no. If it's no, I don't go. I'm like, okay, we're not gonna go. What do you want to do? Okay, let's ride scooters. But like, if they say yes, I'm like, oh. Or like sometimes they would say no, like in the moment, like, no, I wanna I want to watch TV. I'm like, no, we're not watching TV. We have to play something outside, so we can either go to a pool or whatever. But like, because it's really hot right now. Then my older one, Theo, would be like, no, it's too hot for tennis. Later, when it's not so hot, we can go.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? So then like we would go out, okay, it's not so hot right now. We can go play tennis now. I'm like, okay. But then when we're there, they don't want to get out. They want to
Yeah,
keep
see, that's
playing.
good. Yeah, Cove doesn't do that yet.
Like, mommy, Theo now, mommy, rally with me, rally with me. So we like do like 20 ball rallies.
Yeah, that's good.
But then Aston, my younger one, would be like, oh, he's like, he gets so jealous that I play with Theo, you know, and he's like, no, me. And then, but he cannot really like rally or do much. So you just like, he hits the ball hard, but like, I can't get it. So he gets mad. So it gets a little complicated. It's not all.
Yeah,
fun
it's
and
not
games.
perfect. Not yet.
Trust
Not
me,
yet.
like-
Yeah.
But like you said, at this age, I want them to have fun, and I want them to look back at this time like, oh my God, it's so much fun with mom on the court, you know?
Yeah, that's what it's about right now.
And yeah, that was forehand, and like, it doesn't look good, right? But I don't care about that.
Yeah,
you
it'll
know?
come. Yeah, you have the tools to fix that later down the line.
Yeah,
so
we'll see.
if
We'll
they
see.
want.
But it's
a tough-
important that they enjoy and to find that balance of like, okay, what do we do? But anyways, what do you prefer? Do you prefer coaching tennis or doing the fitness side of it?
Well, I don't spend so much time doing the fitness side anymore.
Okay.
But it's like coaching tennis, you know, like when you have players that are super excited to get better and move forward with their tennis and progress and play tournaments. It's the same thing with personal training. If you get a client that comes in and, you know, you see the crossover of training to the tennis court, then
Yeah.
it's exciting.
Yeah.
But you also get other clients, you know, that come in and, you know, I had a lady that her goal was just to fit into her wedding dress, and we made that happen, and that was
Okay.
exciting. But
Yeah.
I would prefer to be with the tennis players because that's what I like to work with. So, and then on the tennis side, it's the same thing. When you get the juniors, it's really fun.
Yeah.
You know, who actually maybe make the high school team. It can be as simple as that. You know, it just depends who you're working with. But the hard part about tennis, I would say, and you know this, is we're outside in the sun all day, you know. So the appeal of being inside as a fitness instructor is so much better. You're in the
Yeah.
AC,
Yeah.
you know. When you're outside, you do 10 hours on court. You know what
Yeah.
it's like. And then you do it the next day and the next day and the next day. And the compound of that is just you're exhausted.
Yeah.
So
It's like
that's-
finding that balance. If you could like do like half and half, that would be like ideal, right?
Yeah, or you have a small, you know, fitness center that maybe has a court that you can do the
Yeah.
whole thing at. But, you know,
With time.
one day. Yeah.
One day.
Exactly.
We'll keep working on it. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the workout for tennis.
Yeah.
You don't have your shirt today because it had a stain.
Had
on
a
it,
stain.
so-
Yes, it did.
And I was gonna wear a white shirt too. It also had a stain. Well, we could have matched with
Yeah,
like,
exactly. It could have been really bad.
stains. So tell us about how did you guys start the workout for tennis, and who did you start it with, and what?
Yeah, so initially it started with just me, and this was years ago when Instagram was really new. I was reading a lot of books, and you know, they were saying find a niche and get on Instagram and make posts, and we did that. And at the time, it was really just me and functional tennis. Like, we were the only two that were like killing it. And eventually I took a break, and then I got back into it once I moved to Florida. And yeah, I guess right now we're just trying to figure out the direction that we want to go. Social media is changing so fast.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's something we battle with consistently. Like we said, you can post a video of an exercise and, you know, it's what people need to do, but the engagement's not that high. And then you can post a video of me doing something silly on court and it gets a million views. So it's like, that's the battle.
Yeah.
Mm.
It is. It's changed so much. Even
Yeah.
even when me and you worked together, when we did the videos together, they were doing so well. That's how my Instagram grew with those videos, right? Like the little tips, the instructional tips, right? Now I feel like if I post that, nobody's gonna care.
Yeah, everyone's kind of doing that. So it's time to pivot, but it's which way do you go?
Which way do you
You know,
pivot?
and you have to do something different to what everyone else is doing.
But it's like, but you cannot come up with, I don't know, something. I mean, tennis is just such a small niche, right? So it's like, what do you?
Well, the problem is, the truth is, and you know this, fitness and tennis, it's the fundamentals that get you to where you need to go.
Exactly.
And the fundamentals are boring.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we capture people's attention and do it the right way and say,
Yeah.
hey, you know, you need to work on these simple things over and over again.
Yeah.
That's boring. People don't want to hear that.
Yeah. So that's why you have to come up with something.
Yeah, you have to entertain somehow.
So at the end of the day, it's becoming honestly an entertainment business.
Yes.
And or also like people love to see, like, you know, the nice courts, the nice outfits, the nice videos, like something that's like beautiful to watch, right? Like,
yeah,
you know, those like I just spoke with Nick about this. The guy Tennis 101, like his videos are so nice. Like I love what I just like scroll through his reels. It's like so nice.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. Yeah, he really is.
Such a good job with it. But like it doesn't give you much. Like you're not really learning anything from it. It's
I haven't seen too much of it. I just know he does like on the flash courts.
Yeah, he goes to Italy to the most exotic court. He goes to Dubai. I don't even know. He goes like everywhere, and whoever is sponsoring that, however that is happening, I mean.
Yeah. Hey, maybe he found a different avenue.
Maybe. And with the podcasts too, you know, there's so many like more now tennis podcasts as well. It's like since the time that I stopped, like I was gone from the podcast world and recording in like 6-7 months. Like, oh my God, so many new tennis podcasts.
Yeah, Andy Roddick's joined it, and I've seen Sam Querrey. I don't know if that was on Roddick's, but yeah, these people are definitely getting involved now.
Yeah, and I just created the Instagram page also just for the podcast because I really want to grow it. Like it was kind of like a side gig for me. And I think I want to like really focus on it more now because I'm not, you know, I'm playing, I'm traveling, and I don't really have time when I'm here to coach. Like I don't want to exert my energy by coaching and doing lessons. I can't because I just trained like an hour and a half in the gym, 2 hours of tennis, now I have 2 hours podcast, and then go on the court and do some serves later for an hour. Like imagine if I had to like, and then be with my kids. Imagine if I had to go like and teach for other 2-3 hours in this heat. I'm already dead from like 2 hours in this heat. It's like equivalent to like 6 hours like somewhere else right now. Like just
6 hours in the winter. Yeah. It is. It really is. Yeah.
I mean, you know, like when you're coaching, like now in summer, you're just it's a lot.
It's a lot, yeah.
It's a lot here in Florida. Ideally, you want to like go somewhere, but we can't because of the kids.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It's tough. Today's video is sponsored by Lucky in Love. Gone are the days of ladies' golf and tennis apparel that all look the same. Lucky in Love is ushering in a new age. The high-end women's apparel brings options fit for the modern, expressive woman. Partake in the ultimate luxury and shop Lucky in Love for your new favorite fashion items for women and use code EB20 to get 20% of your next purchase. You're in a country club right now here in one of the really nice country clubs here. Do you like working in a country club? Like, how is it? Like, is it a mixed clientele or?
It is, yeah. Yeah, it is. I like it. I enjoy the relationship building and learning, you know, maybe business side, entrepreneurship and picking their brains and and I build those relationships with that clientele. I still have some juniors that, you know, they make the high school team. They're looking to potentially go to college. If they put in the work, they could do that. It's just, but I only have a couple of those and the rest are, people playing socially. But no, I do like it. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I think like, I mean, some people say, oh, I would say this before, oh, I don't want to work in a country club. I ended up working in a country club and I did like it because you can get so much out of it. Like you meet so many people, you build connections, you can learn something from somebody. I mean, you can get creative with different things, you know? So it's like, I don't know, it's way different than like teaching one player or two juniors, you know, like, and just
Yeah.
focusing on that. I feel like this period of life, I think it's good to just, I don't know, explore
Yeah.
different
100%.
different avenues. Okay, I wanna ask you next three questions. It's gonna be it's just gonna be about the, since you were really into the, okay, can you, so I looked at the website, the workout for tennis. So you guys do programs for like any, and you have an app too?
Yes.
So is it like a
Subscri-
rec player, a pro player, anyone can sign up?
Yeah,
or-
so once they sign up, the program gets designed to suit the player, and then it will be sent to them like the following day. So it takes a day with their program and the videos in order to perform the exercises. So it depends on, you know, what you're looking to do, what your level is.
Mhm.
If you're a kid, adult,
Mhm.
the program adjusts on its own. So
Okay.
it's pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
I like
happy.
it.
Yeah.
And okay, so what do you think? A lot of, there's like a controversy like about, some people say the tennis players do need tennis specific workouts. And then some people say you don't need tennis specific workouts. That's BS, basically, that you need just proper strength training, proper mobility, stability, whatever, but you don't need specific tennis, you know?
Yeah, it's always been weird to me because as a tennis player, we understand the sport, right? As a fitness instructor, you understand how to get the body strong in order to perform a movement.
Mm-hmm.
So most good strength and conditioning coaches will understand how to get the body to move
Mm-hmm.
in order to perform. Tennis specific is, yeah, it's a gray area for me too, because I think the strength and conditioning coaches need to understand the movement patterns. You have to talk to a coach and be like, okay, what's happening here?
Yeah.
So, for instance, a good friend of mine, Eddie, we've done some work together, and you see a lot of people using bands, and the bands, you know, and their racket, and the bands are kind of pulling the player off their shot.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can show a clip of this, but
Yeah.
you need to stay with your shot.
Yeah.
So if you're practicing with these bands and the band's pulling you the wrong way, then you're coming off the shot.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. So there are little instances, but you have to be able to understand the movements and patterns in the sport. But I mean, I think both sides have to be open to learn. You know, we do
Yeah.
get this clash of coaches saying, oh no, I played the sport, I worked out my whole life, I know what to do. And then strength and conditioning coaches saying, you know, you don't need to understand the sport. And it's like,
Yeah.
I think you need to get together and have a conversation,
Yeah.
learn from each other.
You need a mixture.
Yeah,
Of
yeah,
both.
which is hard. Sometimes some people just, yeah, they're not open-minded, so it makes it tough.
Yeah.
But you can learn something from everyone. So
You definitely can. And it depends what your goals are, where you're at with your tennis journey, and what you actually need. And I was also thinking about this when I was coaching, you know, even the adults and recreational players, they come just for tennis lessons, right?
Mhm.
Like, how great would it be if they actually incorporated like tennis specific workouts off the tennis court? Like, I don't know, that's something like, when I go back into coaching, like, it's so much more important to do that, in my opinion, than just going and just hitting tennis balls and then
yeah,
cross court. But they're not open minded, and they don't really do that, right? They just come and play tennis.
they don't understand.
They
Yeah,
don't. Yeah.
so they don't see the gym as a complementary tool
Mm-hmm.
to their tennis.
Yeah.
So what you get is you get a lot of these social players taking Advil, jumping on the court and
Yes.
playing, and they
Yes.
have double knee braces.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't even say they have to do tennis specific at that stage. I would just say get the fundamentals down. It's
Yeah.
like anything. When we teach them, we're not teaching them the crazy little details. We start with the fundamentals.
Yeah.
And, you know, all the great players and great athletes do the fundamentals really well, whether it's fitness or,
Yeah.
you know, or skill specific.
Yeah. But I guess we could go into depth with this, what the fundamentals would be, you know,
In terms of
for a tennis player, what are the fundamentals?
in terms of fitness or skill?
Fitness.
Yeah. Well,
You know, like where would you even start? Like what's important? Is it building strength? Is it building specific muscles around your shoulder, around your back? Is it mobility? Is it stuff like what is it? Like now that I have more free time. I mean, I have my fitness coach, but
Mhm.
like, you know, I do extra mobility on myself. I do it by myself. I do extra core. Like I do always something, right? But like what are the fundamentals at the end of the day?
so that's, you know, if I reverse the role and I asked you, what are the fundamentals for a tennis player in terms of their skills? You'll give me a different answer depending on who you're teaching, probably. There's still the fundamentals, right? Like your squats, if I'm talking about the fitness side, a fitness base. But I would have to ask you questions like, okay, what's your volume of training like right now? So if you told me I'm training 6 hours a day, which I remember, I don't know if people do that anymore, but that's what juniors used to do, which was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Then why are you going to go and run 10 kilometers?
Yeah.
You probably have a pretty good aerobic base from just hitting balls.
Yeah.
So then we get you in the gym. We work on, you know, your squats, your deadlifts, your pushing, your pulling.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you understand how that works, then we move to, okay, how can we make you move for the sport? The other part is what part of the season are you in? Are you in season? Are you off season?
Yeah.
And then that becomes difficult for tennis too. So if we look at the Grand Slams, January is Australian Open.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have February, March, April, May is French. So you have this, is that right? Or June?
May.
Okay, so you have like a three
or
month.
June.
Oh, we're in trouble here. Anyway, you have a 3-month
No, May.
window.
I don't know.
So you have a 3-month window to get ready for the next tournament.
Yeah.
So you're giving a strength and conditioning coach 3 months. So it's like, how do you structure that?
Yeah, but in those 3 months they have tournaments though.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
there's so many factors. It's like if you get an Olympic athlete, you know they have 4 years. So you go, okay, our year's going to look like this. So we'll strength train here. We'll get more specific towards the end of as we get closer to competition. Tennis players have competitions all through the year, and then it depends. So a lot of the time you're in maintenance phase with very short windows of your strength phase. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you keep the strength up, but you're not doing. Yeah, it's a very complicated.
It's tough. I know.
Yeah.
I know. That's why it's important that, you know, you have a team of people that are like, that know what you need at a
Yeah.
specific time. And then you just build.
Yeah,
that.
and we could have a training session on Thursday, and I could be saying, "Hey, Emma, how are you feeling?" And you could be like, "I'm absolutely, you know, I don't have any energy left." And
Yeah.
if we did a strength session,
Yeah.
it'd be silly.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
there is a lot to it, you know,
There
especially
is.
as you become a tournament player.
And also with a girl too, with a female.
Yeah, it's different.
Hormones.
Yeah, it all changes.
Menstrual cycles. Like there's so much, right? Like when you have more estrogen, there's so much that goes into it. I'm learning a lot about my hormones as a female too. It's important when you work out a certain way, how your body is adapting to certain things. There's so much, right? And you have to know ultimately your body and not push it too hard, you know.
Yeah, where the old school mentality was you train hard and all out every day.
Yes.
And so now when you listen to, you know, Kobe Bryant or just those guys speak, they would do skill sessions that were so boring for hours.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they were, I mean, it was mentally draining, but they weren't exerting themselves to the levels that, you know, we thought. We thought it was all about sweat and every day working and people just had nothing left in the tank.
Yeah.
There's a time and place for that.
There is, but it's also like and I'm just talking about myself now, going back, I'm almost 32 and playing on tour and doing all of this. And it's physically tough, right? I need to be strong. I need to have a good, strong base. But it's like just understanding how much my body can handle certain times and how much tennis do I need? Do I really need to play 5, 6 hours a day? No, I don't.
No.
Like
if you can do an hour and a half of focused lesson, it's probably
Exactly.
better than 6 hours of training and you're still only focused for an hour and a half.
Exactly. No,
So-
but like you said, a lot of these juniors, a lot of these players, it's all just like come drilling, and like endless like hitting and cross courts down the lines, this and that. And it's like, but there's no structure, there's no purpose. It's so much more important to like just have the structure, have a good purpose, have good focus for shorter periods of time, and then you go and you focus on something else, on recovery.
Yeah.
Recovery is a big thing. Like, and now like we have all of these, I don't know, what is your thought on cold plunges and that
Well,
stuff?
again, it's tough. I mean, as someone who does the cold plunges often,
Okay.
I like the feeling of it.
You like the feeling of it?
Afterwards, not while I'm in there. Yeah, afterwards I
I'm
feel
like-
great. Yeah, I don't jump in. I'm like, yes. There seems to be a lot of talk around the benefits of these saunas, more so than the cold plunge.
Oh, really?
But the most undervalued recovery tool we have, and it's free, is sleep.
Sleep.
And it doesn't matter, that's the science is backing,
Mm-hmm.
you can get 8 hours of good sleep.
Yeah. I
That's
agree.
the best thing for you. And most of us are sleep deprived and
With kids.
yeah. But it's how do we manage to get better sleep? And so
Yeah.
I that's what I really try to prioritize now.
Yeah, I agree. And I have a friend that has an infrared sauna. So I go there. I love the sauna. I love the heat. I hate the cold plunge so much.
Yeah.
Hate it. But I love the feeling after. I haven't done one in a long time. I probably should. I'm really sore today. Anyways. How important do you think, and these are like so, I don't know, how important do you think is cardio for tennis players? And you kind of like touched up on it a little bit, but like,
Yeah. I mean, obviously having a good cardio base, for any sport is huge. Maybe not golf, but maybe, I don't know, maybe the people who are fitter play better golf. But obviously for tennis, we do a lot of short, sharp burst. Yeah, it's super important, but a lot of it we get from just hitting, So
yeah,
there was a thing that came out about the rugby league players, the rugby sevens players, where now they do all their fitness on a rower or on a bike to stay off their feet. Because why go run 10 kilometers, like I said, when you're on your feet all day?
yeah,
So it doesn't make sense for us as tennis players. We're bouncing around the court to then go, oh, yeah, I'm going to go run 10 kilometers. It's like, yeah, let's put more pressure on our knees, hips, ankles, and Florida's pretty flat and hard. So it's, I think there's better ways around it, swimming, things like that to get a good cardio base. But if you're hitting enough balls, unless you're feeling gassed,
yeah,
yeah, then I don't really think it's necessary.
yeah. I used to run a lot, and that's like, I would literally like go to a tournament, and on a match day, I would like get up at 6 a.m. First thing I go is a 20-minute light jog. And then I go back, shower, and then I have breakfast. And then I go in the court, warm up, and then I play a match. I would do it. Like, it was like a superstition thing,
Yeah.
But like, I always had like a low back, my sacc, my hamstrings. Like, I struggled a lot. But like, I know it was just something I was doing, and now I'm not really running that much. I would go here and there because I just like it.
Yeah.
Like,
the running high is different to like getting on a bike or like
yeah, I just
rowing.
don't like that.
Yeah.
I really don't like the bike.
I
It's
know.
so boring, and I think my legs are getting bigger as I'm just like biking or like rowing. It's just like, oh, I started doing lately a lot. What's it called? Reverse climber, like the one where you go like,
Oh yeah.
this
Yeah.
with the legs. That stuff also. I like swimming, so I'll
Yeah.
go swimming, and I think
So
it's
why don't
the
you do
best.
more of that?
I have
running?
been. I stopped. I haven't been
Yeah.
running in a long time, and I mean,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I got to make sure I cover my bases here, but you should still have a good cardio, and a way to get
Yeah.
that is running and
Yeah.
biking and swimming, and but staying at a moderate pace. Again, we're
Yeah.
not going out to absolutely kill ourselves.
Today's episode is sponsored by MatchSet. MatchSet is an amazing company that provides players with incredible equipment and apparel. With MatchSet, equipment does matter, and they make sure it won't slow you down.
Use code tenniswithema to get 10% of Match Tennis today.
What do you like? Lately, I've been doing more mobility, less stretching.
Okay, great. I love that. That's awesome.
Like, actually.
Yes.
So, yeah, I was going to ask you, what do you think about that? And I've been honestly feeling so much better.
Well, first you got to start off with what is mobility. And this is where some people think they have the answer, but it's strength plus flexibility times flexibility. So Novak has great mobility. We all know that. But what does that mean? So he's able to get in really awkward positions. So for instance, almost doing the splits, but he can still generate power in his shots.
Yeah.
So tennis, and you know this, if you're off balance, it feels horrible. It's almost as if you could say the goal is to get the person off balance.
Yeah.
If you have good mobility,
Yeah.
you're able to generate more force in a lot of different positions.
Yeah.
And so that's that strength times flexibility.
Yeah.
So static stretching, I'm not a huge fan of, where you just stretch.
Yeah.
Still.
Me neither.
There's no, I don't think there's too much to that, because you get enough of it through exercise.
Good. I'm glad because my current fitness coach, he said that to pay attention how at these tournaments and to watch how these tennis players, nobody's really sitting and stretching anymore.
They know, well, stretching lengthens the muscle, which weakens the muscle.
Yeah.
And then you want to go play. Like, you don't want that. It's the opposite.
No.
So they're all doing dynamic stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like it. I have a routine that I do, and I'm doing more and more, and just my whole body overall has been feeling better. So I guess I'll keep going with that. Okay. When you're just like, what would you recommend for kids? Like, when would you introduce strength training, like lifting weights? At what age?
I'm going to probably have a weird opinion on this, but as soon as they're interested. And the studies, people have this thing of like, and I'm sure you heard this, is it's like lifting stunts your growth. Like, I don't know if you ever heard that. Like, when you lift weights, it makes you shorter.
Yes.
And that whole theory came from like bodybuilders. They used to be quite short and filled out. And so everyone's like, oh, they're stocky and short. And that's kind of where that came from.
Okay.
Whereas as you're taller, it's harder to fill out. So, you know, there's studies to say now there's no impact of weight training. Kids that are 4 and 5. And I mean, I can send you the studies, because people are going to say, where's the link? So I'll send the study to you to make sure I cover me there. But would I start training Cove with weights? No, personally not. I would get him playing. So Cove's 5, just so everyone knows here. He's my son. I would get him playing as many sports as possible and moving in many different ways. So bouncing a basketball, kicking a soccer ball, using a racket, you know, learning to sidestep. Even things like gymnastics are amazing for kids' development, motor skills. So I would go that route first. And then when they entertain the idea. So it's funny because Cove, when we have a little setup in the garage, and if I'm doing exercise, he's like, can I do some? Yeah. And I'm like, I guess. Like, yeah. But, you know, they're saying now, these studies are saying that kids aren't really, at that age, really young, aren't strong enough to really hurt themselves. Okay. As you start to get strong and generate more force, now the volume of us working out and things. So if it was up to me, I would, you know, I'm going to entertain the idea around 10, but it's not going to be heavy weights. I'm not in there putting ridiculous weights on my son's back. But, you know, if there's a light barbell and he's okay squatting with it, I'll let him do it. And each kid's different. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if Cove's going to be strong enough at 10. you know, but some kids, you can see them, you know, working out on Instagram things and they're fine,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. And you see, every kid is different. And like you said, I don't know. Now that we have kids and they're getting older, they're growing so fast. It's
Yeah.
like,
And the other part is, you know, your kid,
yeah.
you know what they're
Yeah.
capable of,
Yeah.
you know, if I got a kid and I could see he can understand his body pretty well, then there's no reason he can't do some body weight squats or hold a
Yeah.
kettlebell and do a goblet squat.
Yeah.
He's going to be fine.
I have the boys when I'm in the gym, they're like, they take the little ones like 5 pounds.
Yeah. And they're doing,
And they're like,
yeah, they're doing the worst technique in the world. No injuries, you know?
It's
But
crazy.
don't get me wrong, I'm not telling parents here to go with their 4 and 5-year-old and train them in the gym.
No,
It should be done with someone who understands what they're doing. And this is just a study that I read recently.
Yeah.
So it's not some
It's not-
trainers wouldn't
exactly.
even let you do that yet.
Yeah, exactly. And but what age do you think you would just keep them one sport?
Oh,
You know, like let's say, you know,
I've had this conversation so many times.
yeah, because I don't know what
Well,
age.
Again, so kids playing as many sports as they can at a very young age is super important. When people say, okay, this kid is talented, generally they come from a background of playing multiple sports, and maybe not even playing sports. They're outside throwing stones, throwing sticks, kicking balls, playing catch, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So before you look at Sinner, wasn't he like a world champ skier?
Yeah.
And then he decided to play tennis at 15, and he was playing like twice a week before that. So, I mean, we could say that's talent, or we could just say the dynamic of playing so many sports. Yeah, I still don't know where I sit on this one, because I always thought specialize really early, but now I think it's the opposite.
Yeah.
I think it's play a lot of different sports, keep tennis in the back of mind if that's what your kid loves, and kind of push as they get 16, 17, maybe even 15 at the earliest. But it's hard because you want your kid being really good at 12, but what does that even mean? And then you get burnt out.
Exactly.
So we all know someone that's been burnt, or we've probably all been burnt out ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely had. So,
yeah.
I think it's a lot later than we thought.
Yeah.
Everyone thought, oh, my kid's the best 10-year-old in the country.
Yeah.
It's okay. Now he's quit tennis.
Exactly.
You know, he's 20 and he's quit.
Or he has an injury or something.
Yeah.
Because
injuries are going to happen though.
They are, but like if you specialize so soon in something, it's like you're doing all these repetitive motions, the same motion over and over and over again. So with time, it's just gonna, I mean, the injury is inevitable at this point.
Yeah, injury is inevitable unless you stay in your bed all day, every day.
Well, no, you can have different injuries then.
Yeah.
By
lifting grocery bags. People get injured that's like how I get injured now. I'm chasing like an orange dot and I hurt my back. You know, so
oh my god.
It's inevitable, but you're right. The repetitive actions, you have to understand how to strengthen those areas.
Yeah.
But start with the fundamentals.
Yeah. Okay. Well, believe it or not, we're at the end. So
awesome.
I'm gonna ask you. Yes.
Really?
Yes. Let's see.
If it's relevant, if the tennis is relevant, I'm good. You go to like the 90s, I'm horrible, just so you know.
Okay. So just testing your tennis IQ. I just did it with Nick.
I'm sure he's ridiculous.
Oh my God. This guy like knows everything.
Yes. So right now, I'm pretty solid. But if you're like, who won Wimbledon in 2011?
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess Federer. Federer or Novak.
I literally like was reading these, and half of these I didn't even know.
So I'll just add one more thing. So growing up, I never watched tennis. I didn't like watching any sport.
Okay.
I had to be outside. I didn't want to watch TV. Now I watch it.
Yeah.
To cover myself.
Do you know what ATP stands for?
Oh my God. Really? You're going to do this to me?
I didn't know. And then I read it, and now I know.
It's got to be Association of Tennis Players? Of Tennis Professionals? Association of Tennis Professionals?
Yes.
Okay, that was a guess.
Good job.
That was a
Good
guess.
job. Good guess. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna pick easy. With him, I was like giving him questions and so like these are easy. Give me harder. I was like, Oh my God. Okay. What is the name of Andy and Jamie Murray's mother?
Judy. Come on, you can go harder than that. Gosh, I'm not that
Sorry, so, Rebekina was born in Russia, but which country has she represented since 2018?
Oh, I know the
Okay.
flag. Gosh. She was born in Russia. Oh, I got no idea.
Kazakhstan.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got that.
How many points are awarded to the runner-up in a men's ATP Grand Slam?
It's like around the 700s?
1,200.
Really?
Yeah.
The
I
top
didn't
guy's
know
getting
this
what, like
either.
3,000
Huh?
points?
I don't know.
Okay, awesome. We just have a tennis podcast.
We're learning.
Yeah, true.
We're learning. We're educating ourselves.
Yeah.
How old was Venus Williams when she turned professional?
I saw that movie too.
Me too.
I don't know if they let her at 14. I'm going to say 14.
Yeah,
Okay.
good. In what year was the first Wimbledon tournament held?
That's probably like the oldest tournament. 1870. 1877?
Yeah.
I saw that on the TV the other day.
Okay. We'll do one more. This one should be easy. Which 5-time Grand Slam winner was suspended from play after testing positive for meldonium in 2016?
Maria Sharapova?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want one more or no?
Yeah, you can go. Do
Okay.
it. Whatever you want.
Last one. The Davis Cup is run by which tennis governing body?
No, I'm just going to be guessing here. No, it's not. It's not like USPTA or something, right? No.
No.
It's not. Okay. Who is it?
ITF.
Ah.
It's easy. I know you were overthinking this.
Yeah.
ITF stands for International Tennis Federation.
All right.
I like these. I saw these like on Google, and there's like actually pretty cool questions, and I'm learning too because I need to educate myself more about tennis since it is a tennis podcast.
No, but that's why you had the podcast, right?
Why?
So you can learn too. It's not like,
Yes.
so you can interview and learn,
I am learning
Yeah.
about tennis, learning about different stories, different inputs. It's fun. Well, anyways, thank you for coming today. That was fun. And everybody follow Workout for Tennis on
Yeah.
Instagram. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for supporting and listening to our podcast. Make sure to follow us on social media.
And be sure to listen to next week's episode of the Amazing Tennis Podcast.